Hello, welcome to the Barely Making It podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Bree.
Hi, I am Liz.
If you're listening, this is our first podcast. We're very grateful to have you here, and we're so excited for you to listen to what we have to say. The whole reason behind this podcast is that we're just two very opinionated women, and we kind of want to get our thoughts out there and just have a discussion with everybody. So we're so grateful for you to hear what we have to say. Before we get into our topics for the day, we'd love to just introduce ourselves and talk about how we met. So again, my name is Bree. We're both in North Carolina, and we met about 10 years ago, and I will let Alyssa tell the rest.
Oh my gosh, that is a lot of pressure to put on somebody. Anyway, I am Alyssa. I'm 26. I'm born and raised in North Carolina. Unfortunately,
It's not that bad.
it is that bad. Don't move here. We don't have no space, no room for anybody.
No,
Stay
we
in your
don't
regular
have
state.
space, but it's not that bad.
Me and Bree we had two similar classes actually. I had to sit next to her. She didn't want me to sit next to her because she's been a hater since the day she came out.
I'm a loner, not a hater.
Anyway, you see how people don't let you tell a story and you let them tell a story. But anyway, like I said, she was a natural born hater. And then she hated me so much that she called me the wrong name for 3 years straight, honestly. And I didn't even realize because she would always whisper it.
Lies.
It's just really sad. It's really sad how people do you. But like,
it's really sad
to this day, I love... to this day, I love her for who she is. And it's fine. Like, everything's cool. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, as you can see, our co-host is a pathological liar. Just to preface, I called her the wrong name for 2 weeks straight, not 3 years.
So you did call me the wrong name.
And she let me for 2 weeks. How dumb is that?
It was an eternity, honestly.
It was 2 whole weeks. The pathological liar is also very dramatic.
It's okay.
No comment on that one, huh?
You gotta let people have things.
And I'm gonna let you have your lying habits and your dramatic habits. It's okay. Peaks and pits. How has your week been? I know it's only Tuesday, but how's your week been?
It's a wonderful week. It's a great Tuesday. They wouldn't even know what day we recorded this, so you didn't have to preface that it was on a Tuesday. You could have just said, how's your week? We could have did this on a week-to-week basis, but you want specifics.
You can talk about last Tuesday to now if that makes you feel better.
Well, why do I sound so argumentative?
It is given argumentative, defensive, that we're about to like when we get out of here.
But it's been a great week. I'm very blessed. I cried the other day because I was just like, I'm just so grateful. Like, I'm just so loved, and I have friends, and I have people that care and love me, care about me and love me. Can't even get it out because it really makes me emotional. Like,
please don't cry on the podcast. It's the first episode. Can we save the crying for like the 5th episode?
Maybe my 3rd.
We'll see. She better cry right now. Look at her.
Anyway, how has your week been? ×2.
My week has been good so far. Last Tuesday to this Tuesday, honestly, it's been pretty good. I don't really have anything to complain that much about, but it's been good.
That's good.
Any highlights?
I feel like if I thought about it, I had complaints.
I mean, I have complaints, but I feel like they're like nothing worth writing home about. Yeah. Life could always be worse, so.
Okay, it also could be better.
Yeah, but that's why I'm an optimist and you're a pessimist.
Have you not heard the words Sagittarius, so you know I'm an optimist? Please don't.
Just because they said it doesn't.
Just roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Change the subject? I'll change the subject. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about music. When don't we talk about music? You'll get to know that this is just kind of who we are. We can literally go on for hours. We're going to try to keep this to an hour, but we could literally go on for hours and hours about music. So, Ariana Grande, Eternal Sunshine came out, the deluxe edition last Friday. Have you listened to it?
I have listened to it all the way through. Actually, I also watched the Brighter Days little movie clip.
Me too.
Beautiful. Honestly, love that white woman. I'm not gonna say I feel like it was well weighted for, but I think the songs on it are beautiful. The one she added, it was like 5, 6 of them. It's not 4.
It's intro, extended, Twilight Zone,
part-time,
Dandelion, and Hampstead. So yeah, 5.
Are we missing one? No. Okay.
Let me check.
But Eternal Sunshine Deluxe, beautiful 5 editions. They're all pretty good to me. I understand where people are coming from when they're saying like they're all different Ari eras because we know she's had a mini.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so many versions of her, which is always great to have. I feel like everyone has different versions of themselves. Like I can say who I am 10 years ago is definitely not who I am now. But I think it was so cool that she was able to kind of revisit that. And it sounded like you said, like almost every single song was a different era of her life.
I think that's a cute little touch because when you look at the Brighter Days video that she had released, she's also watching clips of different phases of what is Peach's life. So,
Yeah, I think it was such a beautiful film too. I don't, but I think we talked about this. I don't really like that she deleted all the memories from her brain. I don't really know the meaning behind that. But I think it was a beautiful video with a really nice message, I feel like. I just love Ari.
I do just love her. That woman is a poet, a writer, a singer, triple threat.
She is a triple threat. I can't wait to see the second Wicked so I can see her in her acting role again.
I have not seen the first Wicked, but it is on Peacock. It is
Ooh,
on Peacock.
it is. You
It's
should
just like
watch
10
it.
hours long.
It's like almost 3. It's really not that bad. It goes by very fast.
I do know that she is excited for the second week. It's like really coming out this year, or is that
It comes out in November.
like they already have it recorded?
Yeah, like it's done. They already put out the posters for it and everything.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I might watch some of the Wicked.
I watched some of the Ariana movies.
She's a good actress.
She's a very good actress. I loved her in Victorious.
Is that all she was in? Other than Sam and Cat?
Victorious, Sam and Cat. Well, she started out on Broadway. She was in, I
She
want to
did
say
do
it's called
Broadway.
13. And then she ended up on Nickelodeon for a few years. And then she just branched off and did her own thing. She was in a Nickelodeon movie. And then she was also in Scream Queens.
She was in Scream Queens.
Yeah.
She was like Chanel number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Either
was in
Chanel
Scream
number 2 or
Queens.
Chanel number 3. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But I think she got killed off on the show too, to be honest.
She was in that movie Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio.
She was. I kind of forgot that movie existed, but she
Dang.
definitely was in it. She definitely was in it.
Are we fans?
Are we? Are we Arianators?
Where is Toulouse? Where is his thoughts on this?
I would love to know. I feel like he has a very well-versed opinion on this album, and obviously he knows more than we do. I would love to hear how he feels.
It is certainly a great breakup album, obviously because she's going through a divorce, so it really is a good breakup album. Like if you need a cry, you need some clarity, you need a moment to kind of just be like, F it, I think it's there.
I agree. I feel like through this whole album before like the deluxe even came out, like this was the album that I would cry to. Nothing was necessarily even wrong, but it's just like it's such a beautiful album. And all of the feelings and emotions that she put into it, even if you can't relate to it from like a relationship standpoint, I feel like you can relate to it overall, and it just makes it so much more worth the listen. Like I literally cry from the beginning up until Supernatural.
Oh, Supernatural's a good song too.
It's a very
that
good
was
song.
Also in the Brighter Days film.
It was so beautiful. And one thing I will say that I love about like the album as a whole, I feel like it starts off talking about her relationship with her ex-husband, and then I feel like it goes into like healing, because I feel like Eternal Sunshine is kind of the marker of like, okay, well, I'm getting over this, I'm moving on with my life. And then the rest of the album, with the exception of like We Can't Be Friends and I Wish I Hated You, I feel like that's more about like moving on and closing that door and like just living your life after that big event. And then I also like that in the beginning, intro into the world, it goes, how can I tell if I'm in the right relationship? Aren't you really supposed to know that? And at the end, like her grandma answers the question for her.
Oh, she did put her grandparents' wedding video in there too.
She did. Her granddad passed a long time ago, so I think that was like
yeah,
so cute.
Her grandmother passed away recently, didn't she?
I don't think so.
But within the last couple of years, her Nona
passed.
One of them passed.
Her grandfather passed like 10 years ago. Let me see. Don't tell me Nona passed away.
Somebody died.
Girl, stop making people dead. She is alive.
Somebody is dead.
I keep telling you it's her grandfather. Girl. Because you're not listening. Her grandma is about to be 100. Let her get to 100.
Intro to the End of the World is a great, wonderful, beautiful. I can't even speak English. That's how good it is. And I like the extended version too. I'm not going to say I like it more, but I do like the extended version.
I love the original, but I feel like the extended version gives a little bit more context to like what she's saying and what she's been through. Like there's a lyric in it, and I'll pull it up.
She went from wanting to see herself from your point of view to I'd rather live than die by your point of view. Ah,
I
I
can't.
love that woman.
I think it's such a good parallel too about like positions versus now, because I feel like when she was writing positions, that was more so about her like moving on from like everything that happened with Mac and Pete, and like really like getting into this relationship with Dalton. And I feel like you get to see the good and the bad.
As far as her relationship with Dalton, I remember like she was telling like just the fans in general, to kind of like ease up off him a bit, like just just let him be. And then the deluxe gets released, they're gonna go attack Dalton, man. Like I know they're in his comments going crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, knowing that he cheated on her, left her for that other girl, and then it's just like y'all are, because honestly, from what I've seen, that whole that she cheated on him and then broke up a marriage, it's been dispelled. So for y'all to like go so hard on her for so long when he's the one who ruined their relationship and she didn't actually go wreck another one was insane. But
I mean, one thing about her, she's gonna have a controversy and she's gonna have backlash.
most definitely, even with the release of this album, like it's just like she can't avoid any type of controversy. She had like the whole with the deluxe Janae Aiko fans, they were upset because the cover is a picture of her levitating, and you get more context to it when you actually watch the short film. But it was her levitating, and people were comparing it to Janae's album Sold Out. And then they were saying that she copied her because on that album, she also has a song called Eternal Sunshine. I've never listened to it, so I'm not 100% sure like what the context of the song is, but I do know that this album is based off of the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So I just I don't get it.
I don't know. Like, I feel like they're only doing that because it is Janae Aiko versus like if it was somebody else, I don't know if they would pay this much attention to it. But it's just
Yeah.
because of their relationship dynamic. Because they have dated the same person, Janae Aiko still being the one that is with Big Sean. They have a whole child together. But I'm not gonna say she did or didn't copy her because I mean artists copy each other all the time. Like there are a lot of like copycat album covers and whatnot, mixtape covers. There's a lot of replicas. There's a lot of duplicates. So I'm not gonna say she didn't because it's certainly possible. But I think every time she is releasing something, it's usually around controversy because this album, or Yes and rather, as a single came out when she had a lot of allegations of her stealing someone's husband, which she has a repeat history of stealing boyfriends and husbands.
Most
She does.
definitely. But I feel like this time it's been like dispelled, and I almost hate that like with celebrities, because let's be honest, if it was me and you, like if I cheated on my boyfriend and everybody found out about it, no one's gonna write articles about it. Nobody's gonna bully me. Like I did what I did. It is what it is. Why can't it just be the same? Because the
No.
same people.
I mean, it's true, but it's because they're looked at through like a microscope. So, for them, every little thing they do gets critiqued when people in real life do it maybe 10 times over. So it's just
Exactly. But I feel like it shouldn't be that way, because pot meat kettle. That's like someone who is like, I'm the toxic girlfriend. I cheat on all my boyfriends. I put them through hell. And then you hear that this is what she's doing. Not really any confirmation that's what she's doing, and you want to bully her, but you're at home doing the same thing. What's the difference? You're a celebrity and she's not. Not that it's right, but
but it just is honestly
I just feel like the house is made of glass.
Dollar Tree glass.
Very much so. But for End of the World, like I said, I feel like it kind of connects. I feel like the first part gave me context because the first part was like, if the moon went dark tonight and if it all ended. Oh, I'm sorry. It goes, if the sun refused to shine, maybe would I still be your lover? Would you want me there? If the moon went dark tonight and if it all ended tomorrow, would I be the one on your mind? And if it all ended tomorrow, would you be the one on mine? So I feel like, in my perspective, I feel like that was kind of her even just like contemplating on, do you want to be in this relationship? And then jump to like knowing that and then going through the motions of like, bye, don't want to break up again, eternal sunshine. Then to know that this was the rest, like she had already made up her mind. She said, like, please pay me no mind while I jump into your skin and change your eyes so you'd see things through mine. Can't you sense me? I've been right here all this time. Would you still be here pretending you still like me? Pretending you don't regret not thinking before asking. Now you're long gone in Cali, and me, I'm still unpacking why I even allowed you on the flight. I broke your heart because you broke mine, so me, I am the bad guy because I'd already grieved you and you started to realize I do need you. I did. I wish I could unneed you. So I did. I feel like that is so relatable to women everywhere. I feel like we always leave the relationship emotionally before we leave physically.
Yeah, you're already checked out, which in reality, like when you really think about it, is kind of fucked. But because you should just leave at the end of the day. But I think you're just trying to give it your all, and once your emotions kind of leave it, you're not even thinking about the fact that like what you're doing might be careless.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's not a good thing to do, but I feel like it's so much of like she said, like you're grieving someone while they're already with you. So that way, like when you're gone, like you're good. Like you don't
It's
feel
easier.
anything. Like it might hurt for a little bit, but I feel like when you do that, it doesn't hurt as much. And I feel like sometimes like you're losing feelings for someone, but you're like, are they really going to do better? Are they really going to change? Are they going to be the person that I need them to be? And I feel like you wait and wait so long until you just feel nothing for them anymore. So then it's just like, it doesn't matter.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I get it completely. I guess it's just looking at it from all angles.
Yeah, like
I
it's
mean, she's
definitely
somebody
valid.
who's going to be critiqued and judged regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because she's Ariana Grande, not specifically because she's a celebrity, specifically because she is Ariana Grande.
Definitely.
And plus, there's still that part of like people who even know who she is at that still blame her for like Mac Miller's passing and things of that nature. So it's like, of course, they're gonna try to make it her with her marriage, and she probably does
Yeah.
have like significant parts. I think she's admitted that like she's had parts.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, they're always going to make her out to be the bad guy no matter what, because, like, even out of them, she is the more famous of the two. So I feel like they just hold her to a higher level of accountability than they do everybody else. But I feel like sometimes what you have to understand is like there are two people in a relationship, and I'll leave it at that. There's just two people in a relationship.
So I mean, the only people who know really what was going on was them too.
Exactly.
And like you said, she's a bigger celebrity. Dawson wouldn't even be considered a celebrity. He's more like a celebrity realtor.
Yeah. So it's like people know him, but they don't know him.
And I think he's moved on as well. I think he's in a new relationship.
He's dating an actress. Can't
I
remember her
mean, when you get
name.
a divorce settlement of a couple $1 million, kind of moves
I'd
you
be
up a
on my
bit.
merry way. I bet everybody
Yeah.
knows who he is now.
Especially because you dated someone so high profile. Like this isn't like a C-list celebrity.
Yeah. She is definitely an A-lister. She's a household name. You really can't, you can go some places, but you can't go most places without not hearing her music. I would
That's
be
fair.
so mad if like I went into like a Forever 21 and they were playing We Can't Be Friends. I'm like, I know that song is about me. I'm serious. I was like, dang, because I
They
want to
do play We Can't Be
dance.
Friends. They'll play that. I've heard Eternal Sunshine, I believe, in
I love
Target.
Eternal
So
Sunshine. I feel like I've heard it in there too. Target, listen, I love Target. I feel like they play all of like the songs that don't make the radio, and it makes me so happy.
that's true. I could see that. I could see that. As far as the album itself goes, like it was already a good album before the deluxe.
I agree.
The Boy Is Mine, which you and I have talked about, was just an iconic song alone because to put Brandy and Monica on a song that's like in reference to a song they did together decades ago, I think that was a beautiful touch to add.
So iconic. For those of you who don't know the lore behind that, like Liz said, Brittany and Monica have a song that came out in the 90s called The Boy Is Mine. But there is a lot of beef behind that song. Brandy and Monica, I don't know what they were beefing about, but all I know is right before they went on stage to perform it, I can't remember if it was the very first performance of the song or if it was just a performance of the song, but Monica punched Brandy in the face right before they went on stage to perform. So you can
Yep,
feel
that
the
happened.
tension. You can feel the tension on the stage. And at the very end, Brandy grabs Monica by her hair as they're walking off stage, and you can see the dancers trying to break them up. So I think we talked about before they had like a verses or something where they finally kind of like talked about everything and came back together. But I think it's so iconic that she was able to get them to let her interpolate that song and then go back and like come together again for the remix and be in the music video. Like, that was really
Yeah,
cool.
you were both together in the video too. Yeah.
Right beside each other. I would have never thought that would ever happen.
Oh yeah, it was. It was a good video too. I think didn't they do an additional song or no?
I don't think they did an
A different
additional.
version of it.
Yeah, they did the remix. So they
Okay,
added
okay.
verses onto the remix.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Her power, honestly.
She is a very powerful person in the music industry, which also brings me to Republic Records. They did not push this album at all.
And I wonder why, if that's one of their like top selling artists, which is crazy when you put that into like a perspective.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. But it's kind of, I don't know if it's like an age thing in Hollywood of like once you get like in your 30s, you're kind of like, I know it's kind of like that in the acting world, but I don't know if it's the same in the music world. But the same thing happened with Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, their album I Said I Love You First. Interscope kind of did the same thing where they just were not pushing out that album or promoting it, so or they didn't like want her to do that album. Granted, it's one of her most successful albums, so she made like her own record label and she did it herself.
Like these companies, these record companies, they really don't care too much about the artist, just more about they produce. And once you're not in a certain group, whether that be age group or status, like I think they're very particular about what they promote.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, there is a video that's probably still on Ariana's Instagram of her playing Eternal Sunshine for the record label. That's how she announced that it was coming out. So it's like for them to do that and tell
She
her
did
like,
upload that.
yeah, so for y'all to do that and so like it's just this great album and like they're so excited to get it out there, but then like you're not pushing it or promoting it. Like I know it's been like 6 months since the album came out, but it's like no, it's been a year. That came out last March. It's been a year since the album came out. It came out on my mom's birthday. It's been a year since the album came out. And like it kind of almost just like dwindled away until now. She didn't even have any Grammy
Gosh, I wouldn't say. Would
nominations.
you say? Yeah, she didn't. She was invited to something this year for Wicked, and she didn't get it. And
She
people were mad,
lost
like, "Why invite her?" But like,
everything.
yeah,
And I don't know if it's
yeah.
because of like her reputation or like I don't know what it is, but it's just kind of weird to see like in that sense of how a lot of celebrities just went from being so popular and like the number one person to now like even when they do successful things it's just not deemed as being successful anymore, even though Wicked was literally like the number one movie for months.
I'm sure Wicked 2 is gonna have the same effect too,
I
because it's not even
agree.
just Ariana fans that are like Wicked fans. Those are like a theater kid's dreams. So
Yeah, but it was just so weird to not see her get like an Oscar, an Emmy, anything, not
or
even a
anything, yeah.
Grammy for like the Wicked soundtrack. And then you know she's never won a Grammy before,
No, she hasn't.
which is crazy. But
It
a
is
lot
crazy
of
to
the
think
Disney
about.
kids haven't. Have you noticed that?
She's not a Disney kid.
Well, a lot of the child actors.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do to them, though.
But it's crazy because like I feel like that's one of the driving forces of why they kind of like have that phase of, oh, I have to show them I'm not a child actress anymore or a child actor anymore. I have to be taken seriously. So
Miley has one.
she just got it last year.
Okay, I'm just saying Miley has one.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like she's been in this industry for years. She got out of like the child acting stage almost a decade ago. I can name a few of her songs that definitely should have got a Grammy before Flowers, you know?
Flowers is a crazy song to get a Grammy to. Your first Grammy at that. Um, it's no Seven Things. It's no The Climb.
It's
Um,
like Wrecking Ball, I feel like that was everywhere. So I'm so surprised that it
yeah.
didn't get a Grammy. Malibu, when her house burned down, everybody related to that. It was everywhere. Like, so I just kind of think about songs like that or Midnight Sky when that came out off of the Plastic Hearts album. Like, that didn't get anything. And I'm just like, it's really weird. And I mean, I have my own sense of music. I know the Recording Academy has a different sense of what they feel is popular. But I mean, you can't deny, like, she's very mainstream. People really like her music. So it was kind of weird to not see her get those accolades until last year.
Okay, so moving on with Positions, the album prior to this one.
Yes. So Positions, I feel like, is about the marriage, and I feel like Eternal Sunshine touches on the divorce, but Positions is such a good album. I will admit, I did not really pay it the time of day for like a good 6 months. I remember like literally texting and I was like, I'm not feeling it. But the
The
more
thing
and
about
more,
Positions, even when she released a single, you thought, not you specifically, but you would think like the single is so good. The album came out, Positions was the worst song on the album.
which is crazy. But it's like when you listen to like just like Magic, Off the Table, 6:30, Love Language, My Hair. I could go on. Like it's
My
just
hair is so
such
good.
it's so good. Obvious.
Yeah.
Obvious is such a good one. Like I feel like when you listen to those songs on the album, it just makes it be like, why was Positions the lead single? Like I know it's the title track, but why was it the lead single? I feel like that's her problem sometimes too, because like I feel the same way. Like Yes and I feel like is the worst song on Eternal Sunshine, but it's like,
Absolutely.
why did you pick that to be
And
the
they did a
single?
remix.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that. I didn't listen to
They could have
that.
just they could have they could have just promoted Eternal Sunshine for that. I don't tolerate Eternal
Literally,
Sunshine hate.
I think Eternal Sunshine should have been the first single because I feel like that gives me more context as to what the album is going to be about versus Yes and like, yeah, I did it. Move on.
Yeah, because it was also poor timing too. Like they're accusing you of stealing that lady with a newborn baby's husband, and you're just like, yes, and like, all right now,
Yeah,
girl,
that
you're
wasn't
not
the
beating
read
a
you
home
thought it
birth now.
was at all. That was not the read
I
that you
have
thought it
positions
was.
open.
Ooh, okay.
I have positions open. So okay, so track by track. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Are we ranking them or are we just.
In comparison to like the album Eternal
Oh, I just
Sunshine.
started playing it. My bad.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I love Shut Up. Then the next song being 34, 35. Wonderful song actually.
I
She wrote
love.
that actually for me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then she has Motive with Doja Cat, Just Like Magic, Off the
I
Table
forgot
with
just
The
like magic.
Weeknd, 6:30, Safety Net, My Hair, Nasty, Wild Side, West Side,
I don't
Love
want to hear
Language,
that.
Positions, Obvious is a good song too, and POV.
Yes. And then we have the deluxe version. So we have Someone Like You, Test Drive, 3435 remix, There's Behavior, and Main Thing.
35 remix. I will say it's like you just gotta. It's really if you like the artist. Like if you like the artist, it's like
Yeah.
oh okay, cute, cute.
Yeah, listen
Uh,
to some of the Ariana Grande songs. It's giving. What is this? I feel like, unfortunately, and this is like not including Eternal Sunshine. I feel like when it comes to some of the bonus songs, or like I feel like some of the songs that fans are like really like the songs that have leaked and they want them to come out, I feel like there's a reason they shouldn't have came out. And I'll say that even with the exception of Fantasize, I feel like Fantasize is a good song. But I was just like, I don't know
with the
about this.
exception.
Yeah, I just feel like that wasn't like, I don't know why y'all wanted that out. But okay. If you can name top 5 on this album, what would it be for you?
On Eternal Sunshine?
On Positions. And then we can do
On
Eternal
Positions.
Sunshine. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm looking at both my apologies. My top five, like personal top five, definitely 34, 35. There was a time where Just Like Magic might have been top five. Because she really did manifest her life. She really, truly has. This is so hard. Okay, in no particular order, POV, 6:30, 34 plus 35, Obvious, probably My Hair. Probably My Hair. I will say this is a cute little album just because she's getting engaged at this time, which is the contrast of her getting divorced in Eternal Sunshine. But I think it's a cute addition that she has all the little. I think it's really cute that she has the addition of the cricket to the background from Mac Miller. Like that was a nice little touch. We know she loved that man.
It is. I hate how people treat her around like the way that he passed and everything, and like they made it feel like it was her fault. And I don't think that that was her fault at all. You can't, just because you break up with somebody, you can't make them. I have to sneeze. Thank you. As I was saying, just because you break up with somebody, that doesn't mean that you can't that you control what they do after. Like personally, there have been people who have threatened their life against me if I broke up with them. I'm still breaking up with you. Whatever happens to you after, like I wish you the best. I hope that you don't do things like that, but whatever you do, that is on you. You can't hold me accountable for things that you chose to do. And I feel like people need to understand that. Like, she didn't put the drugs in his mouth.
I said many times that like she doesn't do drugs, and I could understand why that's a lot on somebody being with somebody who does drugs, even if you know they did them before. Like it's
She literally has a song with Doja Cat called "I Don't Do Drugs."
So from positions, what would you say are your top?
I would say my hair. I would say my hair is definitely my number one. And then after that would probably be Obvious. This is hard. Off the Table would be
Obvious
my.
is a good song, isn't it? Like
It's
is.
so good. And then the end, when she was like, head over my shoes, like, whoa.
Yeah, I know that one, girl. I know
That's my favorite part. But number 4, I would probably say Shut Up. And then number 5 would probably be, it's kind of hard. I'll
Shut Up gets
say
unnecessary hate.
it does. I'll say Love Language would be my number 5. But honestly, it's really close with like West Side. I like West Side.
You know what? All right, West Side fans, stand up. You go ahead, girl.
And Here I Rise if I had on pants.
I feel like okay, with or without the deluxe for Eternal Sunshine, I think my top 5 always and forever Intro to the End of the World. Eternal Sunshine, We Can't Be Friends, I Wish I Hated You. That's 4. Um, and now because we have the deluxe, definitely Hampstead.
I think I'm going to make a list with and without the deluxe. So for Eternal Sunshine, just like the original version, my top 5 would be Eternal Sunshine, End of the World, I Wish I Hated You, True Story, and Bye. With the deluxe tracks, I would say Eternal Sunshine is still going to be my number 1. And then my number 2 would be End of the World Extended. And then, this is hard. I think 3 would still be, or I think I put it as 4, but 3 would be True Story. 4 would be Don't Want to Break Up Again. And I
That's such a sad
think
song.
it's so good. I think I'll save it for a second, but my number 5 would probably be Hampstead. But speaking of Don't Want to Break Up Again, that lyric in there when she was like, I made it so easy, spent so much on therapy for my own codependency, but you didn't even try. When you finally did, it was at the wrong time. Won't abandon me again for you and I.
But like that's real though, because like I'm telling you, she's a poet. She really is. She be in that journaling.
I be crying. I can't even get through it sometimes. I love that song. I wish I could play it right now and just sing. I love that song so much.
I think Twilight Zone is a good song.
Like it? I think it's just like, I always have this thing, like I said, her deluxe like songs are just not always my favorite. And sometimes I'm like, okay, like I see why these may not have made the cut. I'll say like with the intro extended and Hampstead, I feel like they cohesively go with the rest of the album, but I feel like the other 3 songs, I'm just like, okay, like these are nice. Like I don't fully see how they coincide with the album, but they are nice.
When I think about it, it's like okay, she's either gonna have a hit or miss with like because as we were talking about with Positions. Positions probably the worst song on Positions. Thank You Next, arguably the worst song on Thank You Next.
Which is crazy.
Eternal Sunshine is a good song for this. Like Sweetener is not the worst song on Sweetener, but is it the best? No.
Yeah, she always chooses the wrong singles.
Dangerous Woman wasn't bad.
It wasn't. But okay.
But that album is loud.
It's very loud.
What was her single for Yours Truly? The Way?
The Way, Right There, and Baby I.
Those weren't bad releases. Those
weren't bad at all. Like, those fit like what I think the album was gonna be. But when I listen to like My Everything and the singles are like Bang Bang and Focus and
she hates Bang Bang Bang.
And like One Last Time. And what's the other one?
They kept making fun of her because it sounded like she said she farted instead of she fought it. It was Problem, Love Me Harder, Break Free.
Ooh, those are the singles? Was Focus on an album?
I think.
What album was Focus on? Or am I mixing up Dangerous Woman and My Everything?
She didn't put Focus on an album.
She didn't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, I still don't like it. But
Oh my gosh.
What were the singles for My Everything? You said it was Problem.
I know it was Problem for sure because I'm thinking about the songs that were out way before the album even came out. But Problem definitely was the least featured because Iggy Azalea was in it. One
Let me
Last Time. I feel
see.
like Break Free was because I feel like I heard Break. You know what? Yeah, you Google it. You do your click clacking.
Just trying to make sure we're
She got a song with
accurate.
ASAP Ferg.
She does. Maybe we're not the Arianators we think we are.
Maybe we're not good fans.
I don't think we're good fans to anything. Okay,
I feel like Thank
there's.
You Next.
Are there. No, what are the singles? Okay, it has 5 singles. So
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm on Wikipedia. Okay, so the lead single was Problem. The second single was Break Free. The third single was Bang Bang. The fourth single was Love Me Harder. And the final single was One Last Time. That being said,
I was right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, my brain.
that being said, I feel like these are not cohesive of what is on the album. The album itself, I'll say, like, of all of the albums she has, it's probably the messiest one because I feel like nothing on there is cohesive. But I'm just like, if this is like my sample of the album, I don't get it.
What would you say is probably your top Ariana album?
That's really hard because her last 4 albums have been really good.
If I had to do it in no order, I know I might get flack. Thank You Next is not a bad album. Like there are a lot of good songs on Thank You
I love
Next.
Thank You Next.
Yeah, like I'm talking about Imagine, Needy, NASA, Bloodline, Fake Smile.
Yes.
We could talk all day about how In My Head is a piece of poetry. Like I'm talking straight from the 1800s. Like she was out writing. Like it's beautiful. It's crafted specifically for you. Got to know that feeling to know why that's such a good song.
And I feel like that's why that's one of like our albums. Like I remember when it came out and we just loved it so much. Like I feel like even though we didn't necessarily relate to everything back then, like knowing what it feels like to feel like that depressed, it was just so relatable. And then like getting older and listening to it, like I've cried to NASA.
Like Ghosting, that is so sad. That is so sad.
That song
Needy.
is so sad.
Seven Rings, I'm not gonna say is a piece of musical literature, but it's a cute little fun song.
I mean, it's historical. Yes, it has a good sample.
Yeah, like I could say Thank You Next is probably in my top 3. I really love Thank You Next. I do enjoy a Yours Truly. I love A Beginning Stage.
Yours Truly was like from beginning to end. That is a cohesive album. It just gives me like full old timey vibes.
I think you would like Dangerous Woman if you like loud music. Cause she's screaming in that entire album.
Yeah, like when Beyonce was screaming on B-Day.
Yep, that's all she's doing. I was just like, My Everything is like okay. Like I feel like it was just her, just letting y'all know, like, hey, I can sing, I can switch up beats. Sweetener is definitely in my top 3, just because there is nothing that's gonna top the anyways God is Woman era. Like the way people on Twitter were pissed, and like rightfully so from some people, but it's just like. It is a beautiful piece of art. I'm not gonna lie. She did a good job. Even her video that normally never makes sense, it kind of fit.
It did until she had like all those gophers and stuff when they were screaming. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when they just started randomly screaming, and she also had that she had also dressed in that armor.
Yeah, and then like Madonna was in it. I don't know. It was just a weird video. But I'll say my top 3 albums, if I really have to pick, would be Eternal Sunshine, Thank You Next, and Sweetener.
Sweetener is a good album. It's a cute album, actually.
It's a very cute album. And I feel like with Sweetener, I don't really like have to think about much. I know she wrote it when she was going through like the toughest time ever, but I feel like it's just like I feel like it's an escape album almost. And then Thank You Next, like I said, it's my depression album. And Eternal Sunshine is like, I'm healing.
I'm gonna have to listen to Thank You Next after this. I need a good cry. Thank You Next is the worst song on Thank You Next though. So
yeah, like after listening to all of the other songs, which like I said, I feel like that's just a habit for her. When you listen to all of the songs on her albums versus the songs that she chose as singles, they're like the worst ranking song. And it's not even that the song is bad, it's just like there's so much more depth to the rest of these songs.
That's fair. I think as far as Most of her music is about romance and relationships and stuff, but I will say like Eternal Sunshine and Thank You Next, certified. If you want to cry, you need to get it out your system. Yeah.
Turn those albums on, because even though they're talking about like the ending of relationships and how you kind of like feel and deal with it, I feel like they're, well, I'll say I feel like Eternal Sunshine is very self-reflective. I used to think that Thank You Next was very self-reflective, but I feel like it is for like when you're in your teen years. I feel like this is like my grown-up self-reflection album, if that makes sense.
I think the problem is she probably turned a lot of people off at the beginning releasing Yes and, so they're sitting there thinking that this whole album is about to be like you being like Nana and a Boo Boo type of thing. And
Yeah, because I plan on not listening to the album at all, remember?
but we love Ariana in this house.
We do. I was just like, if this is what the whole album is gonna sound like, I don't think I want to hear it.
Yes.
Say that with your
And then
chest.
the thing is, like, if you love Mariah this much and Mariah love you, why would this be the collab she chose? There was another song you could have collabed on.
Mariah was on that? I thought it was Madonna.
Mariah Carey.
Yikes.
Even Mimi couldn't save it. That's how.
It just lyrically wasn't a good song. The silence.
Well, going forwards, you know, every time we say segue, do you know what I think about? I think about Tanner Connor, that boy that was on the Segway riding around, riding around. That was her manager. That's what I think about every time we say Segway. It takes everything in me in that life.
Oh my gosh, I remember that video. Tanner Connor was crazy.
As far as Ariana Grande, she is somebody who we know like will release something, like usually when there's some type of controversy, i.e., yes, I forgot the controversy she was involved in with Boyfriend, because she released something. She released Boyfriend because of something she was involved in, probably stealing somebody's boyfriend. But probably. I will say for her, she is somebody who like you wouldn't think is in the shit that she gets into, as far as just controversy and mess. Now there are times, you know, she does things wrong. She did lick them donuts with that boy. She did do that.
She did do that, and then she went on Good Morning America like laughing about it.
And laughing about it. And said, I hate Americans, I hate America, whilst being both of those. But you know, you live and you learn. She was young. We all say things.
We all do stupid stuff. We don't do that, but we all do stupid stuff.
And I don't know her from a can of paint. And I don't know if you've ever seen the people that talk about like their interactions with celebrities and how like they're mean or whatever. I think a few people might have said she was like the super nicest person ever, like the sweetest being.
I've seen that.
She does give that aura. But I will say, like, Ariana is somebody who you have this big show out in Manchester. Somebody fucking bombs it. Innocent people, thousands of innocent people are hurt. You got a couple that have died. Now you're traumatized. You're in your early 20s, mind you. Your ex-boyfriend accidentally overdosed. The internet is telling you killed him. And you're supposed to be at the peak of your career at this point. Like, you're selling records. You're making millions. And everybody's, like, all eyes on you. And it's like, if you make one mistake, it's the end of the world for you.
I think it's hard to be in that spotlight. Almost like what I said before. You can do things that are regular, but because you're a celebrity, it's going to make the tabloids and people are going to judge you when they're literally sitting at home doing the same thing. I feel like she's been through a lot of trauma, and I feel like people really, you don't have to be lenient about it. Like, you can still hold her accountable for the things that she's done that are wrong. No one is saying that, but I think sometimes people just need to give her a little bit of grace. Like, she's been through a lot.
Well, it's like people, like we talk about this all the time. Like, people treat celebrities completely different. Like, if celebrities do something that's the end of the world, mine is like the people in your life every day who are doing these same things that you're going off on her for, or whoever it may be. And that's the unfortunate part, because they'll put them on these pedestals like they're gods, but then like condemn them as if they're the worst sinners.
Yeah, and I just don't like that. I think it's very hypocritical, and I feel like if you spent more time focusing on yourself and focusing on your flaws instead of everybody else's flaws and letting people make mistakes, like, this is everybody's first time living. You got to give everybody just a little bit of leeway. Like, I'm not saying let her get away with murder, but just like give people a little bit of leeway. You know?
She's never going to be Blackiana again.
Kill me. Get in here, girl.
This my juice. This saying thank you next.
This my cookie. Give me my cookie. Oh my gosh. What a time to be alive.
Up like her ass, boy. Like, that girl is funny. What are y'all talking about?
And she don't really got one. Like, what were you saying? You don't got no money?
She was throwing that back in the video. I'll give it to her. What?
I remember when people said that she would not be able to sing her rap verse live, and she did every night when she was on tour.
Oh, she should. And then got 2 Chainz on a song.
After he was about to sue her.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
Her
I'm gonna work
power.
my way out of a lawsuit. Let's get on the song together. What's that? That Charlie XCX song. They're like, we worked it out in the intro or something. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I do, but I don't know what the song is.
I can't remember. It's Charlie XCX and Lord. Let me see. Oh, that's what they said. We'll work it out in the remix. I feel like that's what they did. Ariana and T Chains. Let's work it out in the remix. Wiki, wiki.
Or she was like, hey, I'm pretty hot right now.
You could be hot
too. I gotta wait for both of us to be up.
You're mad, but you could just get on my level. Like, come on. I feel like as we talk about trauma, I feel like trauma builds character.
Trauma does build character. Not to say that you won't have any character if you don't go through trauma, but trauma, that's what makes people funny. That's what makes them creatives. That's what makes them good artists, whether that be music or physical media art. It really creates lives out here. If you're somebody like us who have just been
traumatized galore,
just been fighting their whole life, you know, like they've just never had a chance. They've never stopped swinging. Some trauma might be self-induced, you know, and if I wasn't traumatized, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would have.
You would have nothing to say.
I will say, like, okay, trauma builds character in the sense, like, you really wouldn't be who you are if the things that happened to you didn't happen to you. I think it builds tougher skin. I think it makes you see things in a different way because, not to say you wouldn't, again, have character if you weren't traumatized, but it really does. It builds a lot in you. It builds a lot of things. Like, and that's how you end up creating so many wonderful things because you're putting that trauma and that anger and that pain into something you love and it creates something beautiful.
I agree. And I'll say, like, even to add to that, people who have been traumatized, they have like the best like outlets when it comes to art, like whether it be music, painting, film, whatever. Like I feel like a lot of people are able to take what they feel and take what they've been through and put it into like this vessel to give to people that is just so great. And I feel like you said, it builds character. I feel like I wouldn't be this funny if I wasn't traumatized.
No,
Life
I
is a
really
joke.
wouldn't. I'm funny because my life is a joke.
Most definitely, because we are two people. When something is going wrong, we call each other and we start making jokes until one of us cries.
Do you remember when this lady base called Cardi B an illiterate rat and she deleted her Instagram?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, that's what happened. They got an
I'm
argument
sorry.
because she went on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne. She had on that green outfit and the glasses, and then she was talking about how Cardi B is an illiterate rat. And then her and Cardi B got into it. And Cardi B publicist replied, and you could tell it's her publicist because there was no typos and all the words was correct. And then yeah, she made her delete
it. I feel like, yes, Azealia might be wrong for the things that she says, but I don't feel like she's wrong in the context, if you feel what I'm saying.
Azalea be right half of the time. Like low key, she be making points. I don't care what anybody says, she be making points. It's just like the same people that be sticking up for Kanye. He might be a loony balloony, but sometimes he is right.
Yeah, like you don't let his mental illness fool you. Sometimes he do be speaking
Is
facts.
he wrong right now for talking about that lady kid?
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Most definitely. But I feel like he's not always wrong. I feel like sometimes people just don't want to hear certain things because it's him. Just like people don't want to hear certain things because it's Azealia, but like she's not always wrong. Was she wrong when she was burning them chickens and when she leaked Rihanna's number? Yes.
And
but
she had to sandblast her closet. That bitch had to sandblast her closet because she had so much chicken guts in her
that
closet.
Was like, insane on so many levels. And like, I don't know why you wanted to. Boy. She do. I just don't know why she wanted to put that on social media. Like I could have went my whole life without knowing that. You remember when her and Lana Del Rey was beefing, and she said, "I won't not f you the f up." Like Lana, please go play your guitar. Go sit down.
She called Ebro in the morning. She said, "Oh hi, yellow cornbread, jiffy pop head ass." Like she was going off. Like I love her sometimes. I don't know.
That's one lady I will never say anything bad about because I don't care. She be coming left and right for anybody.
She Brujeria on me. She has beef with everybody. She's beef with Nicki. She's beef with Rihanna. She's beef with Beyonce. These are all one-sided beefs, by the way.
They are. Well, except when she leaked Rihanna's phone number.
Sky Jackson, while Rihanna was out there in other countries helping children with school systems and whatnot.
Yeah. Now she was wrong for that.
Listen, she said that they was being racist to her on Wild and Out. And all he did was call her ugly and talk about her braces ain't had no brain. They
didn't. Like, no, she didn't used to have an overbite. Like, it's okay. It's all right. We all been there. I'm there. I need braces. Just own it. It's wild now, and you
We've all
expect
been
not
there.
to.
I'm there. We've all been there. I'm there.
I'm there right now. I need braces. Like, just own it. I think
I
that's
don't
her
know. Like
problem,
even
though.
her.
I'll say
But she,
this.
that brings back to our point because she's clearly been traumatized because that woman is funny. What?
She's very funny. So, like, once again, trauma builds character. Like, I know I'm not that bold to say a lot of stuff. Maybe I haven't been traumatized enough yet, but like, didn't you say Diplo did something to her? Or was that Quinn?
That was Quinn. She said Elon Musk and Grimes kept her hostage, and
That's what it
then that
was.
was Tesla. They were really trying to backtrack all those statements,
I
but she did
forgot.
have proof because she had pictures with him.
Ooh, interesting.
She did also backtrack her statements because I mean Elon Musk does have money to make you disappear. So
Yeah.
she said that RZA had took her to a hotel with Russell Crowe for ass, and
I
Russell
do
Crowe had spat
remember
on her and called her the
that.
N word.
I do remember that.
Oh my god, we're gonna have an Azealia Banks episode next. I love that. What?
We should. We can do like all of her lore. I think that would be really fun. But we have to be very careful with our words.
Well, you can even read stuff she says and be careful with your words. She said South and a Mason Dixon line like she was going in on them girls on Wild and Out. Like she should have read them like
Oh
on
my
a
gosh.
stage.
The worst part of that was when she just would not leave DC alone after. Like he moved
He said, "Leave
on.
me alone."
He walked on stage and everything. Like she just would not chill out. And she's like, I get it. You're mad at him for what he said. Make a different joke.
She told Nick Cannon, she said, "Don't worry about me. Worry about your illness."
And he has Luke. She's not nice. She's not right. That's not nice.
My gosh, who else was she beefing with? She argued with. She was arguing with. She had bit somebody's boob one time trying to get into a club or something like that.
Wasn't it Beyonce she bit?
No, it was like a random person.
Beyonce got bit by somebody, remember?
And
Do you remember that?
Skin bleaching.
Who bit Beyonce? Do you remember that?
Who did bite Beyonce? Somebody did bite Beyonce.
Yeah.
Who bit Beyonce? Hold on.
I want to know. I'm about to Google it.
I'm Googling it now.
Okay, let's see what we find as a collective.
Somebody did bite her. Santa Lathan?
It was her? Oh my gosh. All I did was type who bit, and it was the first thing that came up. Oh my gosh, it was her.
Tiffany Haddish did tell because she got sent a cease and desist.
You know what? That's where Top Off came from. If they try to party with the queen, they're going to have to sign a non-disclosure top of the Tiffany. Why did she do that? She bit her in her face.
She what? Oh.
She bit her in the face. Oh my gosh.
Mike Tyson bit somebody's ear off.
But that was a fight. This is a party. Why are you biting people's ears off at parties? Allegedly.
How did we get here? You know, like sometimes when I think about our conversations, because I know he was just talking about this like Banks, but she bit somebody. We talking about how good Beyonce.
This is a true testament of how most of our conversations go. How did we get here? Why are we talking about this? Get back to the point.
Trauma builds character.
Trauma does build character. We have a lot of character. You'll come to see. But celebrities, I feel like all of the traumatized ones, they have a lot of character. I feel like any artist in general, I don't feel like you can. I mean, you can be a successful artist, but I feel like to have substance as an artist, sometimes you do have to have like depth in what you talk about. And I feel like a lot of depth that people have in their art, especially music, comes from a lot of things that they've been through, i.e. trauma.
It's gonna make you or break you, and you gotta let it make you. You really do.
I think it's so, what's the word? I think it's very admirable that people can take their trauma and profit off of it because, like, you're just not going to waterboard certain information out of me. Like, applaud to all of y'all, but I'm not. I can't. Sorry. I'll listen to it. I'll take it in, but I can't. Sorry.
I wonder who I would be if I wasn't traumatized. I don't want to find out though.
I think I would be very boring.
Yeah, I feel like I would be just. I don't know because it's gonna sound shady no matter what I say. I'm just happy I'm me.
Yeah, I like who I am. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Do I wish certain things didn't happen? Of course. But they made me who I am today. And I'm very funny and I have a big personality once you can get me to talk. So to close the podcast out every episode, we like to either pose a question or play a game. Today's question, just based on everything that we've talked about, comparing albums, talking about comparisons in Hollywood and just overall comparisons in general, we want to pose the question, is comparison the thief of joy? And Liz, I'll let you start off.
Well, I mean, comparison It's always been a thief of joy. But I think now it's probably worse because we do have social media, and it's a wonderful tool. The internet and social media is so wonderful. However, we see way more than we need to see on a daily basis. We hear more thoughts than we need to hear on a daily basis. We were never really supposed to be exposed to things like this. So you'll see somebody your age that's doing it could be significantly worse or better, and you're just like, dang, like why is that not me? But in reality, like we don't know these people's lives. Most people aren't going to post their downtime, their down moments. Most people aren't going to post the worst moments of their life, and if they do, like we really have no idea how bad it is or how good it is. We just see what the people allow you to see. Especially now with a lot of AI and Photoshop too. Like we don't really know what's real, what's fake. Their best bet is the second you start comparing yourself is to probably take a second and take a step back because you're doing great for yourself. And if you know you're not, there's always room to do better. There's always room for improvement. But you're not going to get there worrying about what the next person has.
I agree. I'll say, like, there's even times that I've like compared myself to other people around me, and I'm just like, okay, but like you said, I don't know what they go through behind closed doors. I don't know what insecurities they feel. Like, hindsight is always 2020, and if I like was on the inside, like, you know how they say, like, take a step in my shoes or take a walk a mile in my shoes, whatever the saying is. Like, I feel like if you were to actually have the opportunity to do that with people, you wouldn't want to live the life that they live. But I do think comparison is a thief of joy. I feel like even going back to the topics that we talked about today, the comparison of Eternal Sunshine to Sold Out, like the album covers, I think it can take away from a lot of the excitement that people feel about even just like being able to listen to new music. I feel like a lot of the hate that comes out around like Ariana's albums, I feel like that can take away from like the actual album itself and how good it is. I feel like that's even kind of something that happened with Eternal Sunshine coming out overall. There was so much talk about what she had going on in her life and like the comparison of her reputation from then to now and who she was then versus who she is now, that I feel like it took away from the album, like outside of it not being promoted the way that it should have been. I feel like it took a lot away from the album itself and the true meaning of it.
No,
So
very, very much.
yeah, I just feel like as a whole, like outside of the topics that we talked about, you really can't compare yourself to what others think about you or what others feel about you. Like everyone's going to have their own opinion about everything. So I feel like you can't let that take away from what you feel and the happiness that you feel about anything.
You just gotta live your life and really focus on yours. Like it's okay to see someone else but like let them have their life. Because
I
somebody might
agree.
think you just based off of like your accounts, like you have the most wonderful life. We all go through things.
I agree. And I feel like people also have to understand like what's for you is not for everybody else. You can disagree, but at the end of the day, it's not your life. If people are fine living their lives that way, like example, how Ariana has been known to take a boyfriend. I don't
Or
like
two.
it. Or two, or three, or four. I don't like it. But that's her life to live. That's not mine. Like at the end of the day, we all have to answer to whatever you believe in. And like that's something that she'll have to answer to her maker about. Like it has nothing to do with me.
Unfortunately, this is all we have to talk about for today. So crazy. I know you would think we would have a billion things to say.
We probably still do. This is probably going to be a conversation that lasts until at least 10 p.m. But
Oh
that's all we
gosh.
have to say for now.
But we do hope you enjoyed and we thank you for listening all the way through because I'm sure your
Yeah,
ears are bleeding.
I'm
Um
sure. Put two girls in a room
now as
with very unique voices and see what happens.
See, that sounds like the start of something unhappy. I will say we are available on cross social media platforms.
Yes, we'll have them listed in the bios. And then we also have social medias that we've created for the podcast. If you want to keep updated on like our scheduling, you want to see some extra clips that we have, like things that didn't make this episode, those will be on there. And just really any updates that you want on the podcast. So, as far as posting goes, we are looking to do every Friday around noonish, but if that changes, we'll update on our socials. For audio listeners, if you would like to watch the video version, that will also be posted on YouTube. Again, you can find our socials for ourselves and the podcast linked below. Anything else you want to say, Liz?
No, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and coming along on this journey with us. We're so excited to put out more content and talk about more things. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.